What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. The reason why I'm filming this video is because my brand new bearings have came for my wheels. I'm going to show you how to change wheel bearings on a skateboard. Here I've got the speed washers, which I won't be using because I've got some better ones on mine. These can be spares, and I will add these bearing spacers in the wheels instead of the ones that's already in it. So there are the bearings, speed washers, which I won't need, but then there. All you need is a flathead screwdriver, decent size, just a sort of average size flathead, and an adjustable spanner, because if you are into skateboarding, all high-end skateboard wheel nuts, they don't take a separate size. I think mine are 12.5 or 11.5, but yeah, they're not all a separate size, so I just use this little black spur adjustable spanner, quite cheap. Get them from a small adjustable spanner from anywhere. Big one will be fine, but I use this for adjusting my truck's tightness as well, so yeah, that's very handy. And then yeah, these are the only tools you need, these two. And this actually came with this Venom. I bought it off eBay. It came with some lubrication with the lubricant with these. So yeah, with this pack, only 13 quid I think I bought them for, around that price. So yeah, let's start getting these wheels off. I'm gonna try and do this quickly so I won't have to fast forward any of it. So yeah, I've got Santa Cruz Screaming Hand wheel nuts on here, so they're very good quality, so I'd be quite careful with them usually. Yeah, right, so I've got the see, they're slightly thicker, these speed washers. I think I prefer these ones, but yeah, I'll use these ones because it's always nice to have a nice pair of spares. So you take the wheel off. By the way, there's supposed to be a speed washer either side. Yeah, so there's my wheel, bit gunky because of the WD-40 I put in it. So I will pause the video and I'll clean that up with each wheel. So all you want to do is you want to stick your screwdriver in there and then just bend it, and the bearing should just straight up pop out like that. You've also got your bearing spacer, which is in the middle of each bearing, which is there. This is what a speed washer looks like, standard. Yeah, I mean, it should happen either side with both bearings. These bearings are going to my mate Samuel. So yeah, I'm going to pause the video, I'm going to come back, and this wheel will be perfectly cleaned by the sink, and then I can insert the new bearings and the new bearing spacers. So yeah. Okay, I am back. That wheel is perfectly cleaned, just with soap will do. Every time you take your bearings out of your wheel, it's a good idea to clean the wheel out, because it usually gets there's still a little bit there, but it gets gunky grease stuck in it. You don't want that. You want new grease with your bearings, well, up until the time you take them out. So yeah, as you can see, that's wheel's very clean compared to that one there. So yeah, I'm going to go and get a cloth to put the old bearings on because they're quite gunky, as I said. Okay, I'm back now, I've got it. Yeah, you don't want to make a mess of your surface, especially if it's inside. So, I know you can't see that very well, but you don't really need to. I'm just placing those old bearings just straight on there. And the old bearing spacers. Right, so when you've got your wheel, some of them actually are identical either side of your bearings, like my old ones. With those sort of ones, it doesn't really matter which way you put them, but when it comes to the different sort, such as these, where it's like that, and then that there, so it's a sort of a inner bit here, and then on the outer bit, you want to put the outer bit on the outside of the wheel. Yeah, and then you just literally just push it straight in your wheel, and there you go, nicely in there like that. And each wheel requires 2 bearings. And before I put that one in, you put the bearing spacer in the middle of both. So yeah, if I can get it out. Right, that's out. Now that's a lot better, that golden one, than the old metal ones I had. Well, these are metal, but I just do prefer these quite a lot more. I've realised that. So yeah, your bearings go the same way. And just like that, your wheel bearings are in. Before you put it in, you want to add a little bit of lubricant. Actually, take your bearings out. I've made that mistake. Please don't make that mistake. So, before you put your bearings in, it's always best to grease them up rather than... Don't use WD-40 because it messes up the bearing. Well, it doesn't mess up the bearing, but it makes it a horrible mess. So, I've got my lubricant here. It smells funny. So in the inner bit, you want to just put a little bit of lube. Just a little trail of lube in the inside. Like so. And then you want to have both fingers on it and then just sort of mix it in. Let it seep in. Yeah, just let it seep in just like that. And then once it's in the inner edge, you place it into your wheel. Push it back in. And there you go. There, it's lubed up, but you will put some on it will be a good idea to put a little bit of lube on the outside as well. Don't use much for each bearing because usually they only come in a tiny little bit. That'll do. And then you just sort of sit there spinning it, letting it seep in. These are AVEC 11 bearings, paid a little bit more than average bearings for these because they have 11 ball bearings in them. And then once that's seeped in, just sort of a little bit better than it was, you just want to rebuild your wheel. You want to put your bearing spacer in there, and then obviously the bearing the right way up. And now when you're in the inner edge, you want to put a little bit of lube in that bit there. There we are. Now that'll cause it to work nice and smoothly on your wheel. Now, yeah, obviously give it a little bit of spin. That will do. Now, you give it a little shake when you try and put it on your wheel. You usually have it like this, way up. Little shake. And there it is. It's on the wheel, nice and well. Before you do your wheel nut on, you obviously want to add a little bit of lube on this side of the bearing too. Then that should run extremely smoothly on your bearings. Now, obviously give you 1 minute. I'll just use my sleeve, I don't care. Right, you don't want your wheel to be greasy, otherwise the friction with the road when you're riding a skateboard just doesn't work that well. You want a lot of friction so that you don't slip off. And I don't know why I put that on without adding the bearing spacers. No, not the bearing spacers, I'm just trying to clean that up a bit because I don't want any old gunk on it. So I'll put one on, then the wheel goes on. Nice and smooth. And then your other washer goes on. There you go. Now you can just tighten up your nut. Just enough. Maybe a little bit looser. Tighter. You don't want any movement in your wheel. When they're new bearings, there's no need for it to move at all. Okay, so there's no movement in that wheel there. Now that looks very fresh. Now it's for the other one. It's even more gunky actually. So yeah, I'm just. It's always a spanner. You just want to use it like this usually. I don't know if you can see properly, but yeah. This video will be at least probably around half an hour long. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, same procedure again. Take your bearing spacers off, wheel, and yeah, your other bearing spacer. No, you're not a bearing spacer. Don't know what's with me today. Speed washers. Yeah, pop your bearings out with a screwdriver. Right, right, okay, that's fine. Now I'm going to clean up this wheel. I'll be back. Okay, that's my next wheel, cleaned up and dried briefly. Now it's I don't want this in the way, so I'm Sage Pryor, by the way, Robin's brother and Samuel's mate. There's the wheel, cleaned up well and dried briefly. So same procedure with the wheels, with the bearings. I mean, you wanna, I don't know if these are already lubed up actually. No, they're not. Don't need that. So you just put a little trail around the edge. Let it mix in a bit. You put that bearing in. I'm putting it in the inner bit first this time. Now obviously add a little bit of lube on the other side. Now it should run perfectly smoothly now. That bearing should. And yeah, now it's for the other bearing in this wheel. Okay. And the other bearing spacer. I like these gold ones because I just like the look of them, really. Yeah, no other reason really. I like the sort of bronzy colour to them. I think it's a bit better than silver. Christ, they're not very smooth. Now they are. Okay, now it's for the bit of actually putting it on the wheel again on the skateboard. So I'm going to clean this up now. I didn't need much of a clean up, to be honest. Yeah, bearing spacer goes on. Little shake, that's found its spot, and yeah, that should work very, very well. A little bit of movement, but that doesn't hurt when it's gripped to the wheel. This is the way I'd put it. You can't see that well, but oh well, it's fine. I'll put it right. Still a bit of movement there, and it's tight as it can be. Tight as it can be, and still a bit of movement. That's surprising. Never came across that before on new bearings. Low movement now. It doesn't have the best spin in it. It should be a lot smoother though. So clean it up. Get the grease off the actual wheel. Yeah, now it's for the other part. Trying to work a little bit quicker now, so that the video isn't too long and boring. Because, yeah. Is that black? Yeah, it's a black one. Is it? Yeah, I've got a black one there, which I'm not going to use. I'm going to use one of these instead, actually. Actually, nah, fuck it. I have the same one. Doesn't bother me. Clean the part of the truck where the wheel goes on. Just dry the old grease off it. Take your bearings out and bearing spacer. It's a funny stained colour. Bearing. Right. Gonna go clean this 3, 2, 1. Cleaned and briefly dried again. Yeah, it's done. So now is for the bearings. Right. Same thing with the lube. Little trace around each side. Well, I'm only doing the one side this time. Doing the inner side first. That'll do. Other one. Yeah, don't go mad with the lube, because remember it's got to fit 4 wheels. Wow, I made the same mistake again. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't make too much of a problem, but bearing spacer is out. Push that back in. Give it a little spin to let it the lubrication seep in. Okay. Obviously, give it a wipe. Give it a dry. Try and get the worst of the grease off of the outside of the wheel. Now that can go straight back on. Obviously, remember to put on your spacers again. washers on it, but yeah, there we go. That's on. Quite a long video this, but that doesn't really matter. It might take a while uploading, but yeah, we're trying to fit in the most videos we can to this channel. We're trying to hit 50 by this year. More than Joe Weller does. Too much movement on that, but that's not really a pain. I can live with that. Now there's the last one. I might as well face it to you. Yeah, I reckon this video will be 25 minutes to half an hour. If that. Won't be any longer than this. There we go, it's loosened. Sometimes I do them quite tightly because I basically do it like this. But yeah, just showing you guys sort of the basics of how to change your bearings in your wheels. From A to B really, not really basics, but yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm not using lubricant and glue with no...
I'm using this, my old flannel.
It's not your old.
Well, it's the one that's torn to bits. There's holes in it, Mum. It's a thin one with holes in it. Fuck's sake. Clean it.
Yeah. You don't want oil all over the surface.
There isn't oil all over the surface. Let's see why she can't leave me alone for a bit, but yeah. Pop out your old bearings that you don't want. Little spacers. I'm gonna go clean this. 3, 2, 1. Wheels cleaned. Now let's quickly get these last 2 bearings in, and obviously get the lube. I think they're already lubed up, but it's always nice to have a bit extra. That'll do. Get the edge. I think I might have used up all of the lube now, but no, that's fine. It doesn't really matter how much I use now because it's pretty much done. I think lube's quite cheap anyway, especially for. Is that already lubed up? Oh, I suppose I already did lube them both up. Now there's a little bit on this side. You put on. Oh yeah. Now, yeah, that just goes straight on there. Give it a little shake. Hope all wheels are on the right way. Yeah, they are. Of course they are. I know quite a lot about skateboards, by the way. Skateboard parts, bike parts as well. Ask me one question and I'll know straight away about bikes or skateboards. Yeah. Forgot to put the spacers on there. Put that one on there. I have forgotten quite a lot of times to put spacers on, but it doesn't really matter. I'll try. There we are. There it is. Here's what the wheels. Just give that a little clean. Here's what the wheels, fuck, let's see. Yeah, there what the wheels look like. Very fresh. This is me, by the way, on stage prior. Hair's looking a bit shit, need a haircut. I'm actually going to grow it out and then perm it again. There's the remains of the old bits there. It's always useful to have a little bit of extra lubrication. I'll place that on there. I think it goes that way up, yeah. I think, there we are, that'll do. Right, old bearings need a clean from my mate Samuel. These, and also he can have those speed washers if he wants, my old ones. Yeah, I'll put them all back in here. Perfect spot to keep them, actually, that bearings. 5% battery, fuck. Right, just made it. 26 minutes 30. Thank you for watching. There's what she looks like, boys. Very, very smooth now. Well, yeah. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video. Follow my Instagram, that'll be down below. The link won't be, but the name will be. Peace.